What will happen in 2025? An international forecasting website, Deagle.com, published an interactive graph where it projects future prospects or trends for any nation in the world that you click on. Although the graph has been updated since 2013, their site currently charts changes in population, GDP, and other national factors of almost every country in the world from 2017 to 2025, allowing you to easily cross-compare the statistics.
So Deagle forecasts different things, growth, and if we look at these countries right here, you see China, there's 2 dates. So you have 2017, and let's see if I go over here and give you the country list, which is down at the bottom, and 2025, and it's such a interesting, right? There are 209 countries listed below. View the 2025 forecast. And when they were confronted with this, because when you look at the United States of America, in 2017, population 327 million, their forecast for 2025 is 100 million people. So when they were asked about this, back, I think it was in 2017 or 2018, they said, well, it'd be due to economic conditions. They expect a gigantic crash to happen, and people will leave the U.S. But when you add all the numbers together, which I did, it shows there's about 550 million less people in the world than there in 2025 than there is in 2017. So 550 million people are gone from the world as far as their forecast. So when we look at this, here you see that top number in red. That's China's population. Now here they're showing it's going to go down. And if we look at that, we're looking at about 22 million people less. So that's interesting because originally, in the other numbers, it just showed it flat. India's population is going to go up, and it looks relatively significant there. Now Russia's population is going to go down slightly. Japan's population is going to go down by about 23 million. As you can see, there's a difference, 23 million. Brazil's goes up about 3 million. The United States population, now they're forecasting it to sit at 99,553,100 people in 2025. And they're showing us currently at 326,620,000. That's a lot of people to not be there anymore. It's just interesting to look at these numbers. Here you see Indonesia gains 7 million people, so they go up. Interesting too, there was an article today talking about a lot of Chinese manufacturing jumping to Indonesia as well. I forget where I got that article from. Here you see Mexico increases slightly. Perhaps it's people leaving the US, and actually Central America and South America gain people. Now if you look at these countries, right here you see Italy drops like 19 million people. France drops 28 million people. That's huge. Canada loses 9 million people, about a third. South Korea, big loss there as well. It goes from 51 million to 37 million. You see the Netherlands drops population. Pakistan gains population. Pakistan gains a lot. Actually, it gains about 14 million people. I almost wonder if, what's up with that. That's kind of weird. Iran loses a little bit of population there. I guess that looks like maybe around, what is that, like 45,000 people, something like that. Thailand loses population. Turkey loses 9 million. That's big. Egypt gains about 8 million people. Malaysia gains like 2 million. Nigeria loses 3 million. Philippines gain like 13 million people. Germany, look at the loss on Germany. Germany goes from 80 million people population to 28 million. That's massive. Yeah, massive drop. And did we cover the UK? Because the UK has a huge drop too. So Germany is massive. Spain, big losses, almost cut in half, 48 million to 27 million. Saudi Arabia loses about 3 million people as well. You see Colombia gaining almost a couple million. Argentina loses 3 million. So it has to do with political alliances, I would think, and war as well. Taiwan loses like 5 million people. Australia loses 8 million. They go from 23 million to 15 million. Poland loses 5 million. And we see the trends continue. Bangladesh, gains 19 million. That's not earth change related, because Bangladesh is so prone to flooding and all sorts of earth changes there as well. And we look at Romania losing 4 million. Iraq loses 6 million. Belgium loses 3 million. South Africa loses 9 million people. Venezuela loses 2 million, and you got to wonder about that too, right? Finland loses population there. Peru gains. Austria loses. Sweden loses. Almost all the European nations lose. Kazakhstan loses people. Switzerland does as well. There's the UK, all the way down to 47. The UK goes from 65 million people to 14 million people. 65 million people to 14 million people.
Deagle is partners with and clients of the NSA, NATO, the World Bank, the United Nations, and other national and international agencies. They say the economic and demographic data used in the making of their forecasts is widely available by institutions such as the CIA, IMF, UN, and USG. Also, they make it clear that they are, quote, not linked to any government in any way, shape, or form. Either way, what will happen in 2025?